Welcome into SportBet Extra. I'm your host, Paul Rami, here every Tuesday through Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central. We've got a great show today. We'll recap yesterday. Hey, day 2 of the winning streak. Like I said, we're starting a streak. Hop on board now. It started yesterday. We're going to recap yesterday's plays, get into some NBA going on tonight. Talk about the one NFL game there. Talk about a little college basketball. Not too much action tonight, so we can really kind of pick and choose the spots we want here. There are some good angles that we do like. So we'll talk a little bit about all those. So let's just get right into the show. All right, first things first, per usual, everyone pretty much knows the drill now. So here we go. This is where we are at currently, plus 24.07 units. Yesterday was a winning day, going 2-1. Unfortunately, the only loss was the free play. Again, sign up, sportbetextra.com, get your free trial. Then, like I said, after that, get your 7-day, 1 month, whatever it is, 3 months. That's where you're going to get my member plays. Those are going to be the ones that, really put a lot of time and effort into. The ones that are the free plays are the ones that really just like to come on, talk about, maybe find some insight as I talk through them. And if there's a spot we like, then we take it. But the free plays, those are ones that just kind of talk through and like them. Let's put them in. The member plays are the ones like, hey, these are the ones that we're going to feel more confident on. So those go to 2-0 yesterday on those. So the free play Liberty plus 12.5, no good there. Liberty did not show up. NC State ran them out of the gym early and never looked back. So that one was no good. The other one we did talk about a little bit on the show, New Mexico plus 10. We had that one there. They went outright as 10-point underdogs. And then on the other one we had was Tulsa minus 22.5. And they win there, covered by 30-something odd points. I don't remember exactly the number, but they get that 22.5 done with no problem. So yesterday, 2-1 brings our college basketball total to 61, 43, and 0 pushes. NBA, again, we're still looking good there, 19-10. Again, we can just disregard MLB. NFL, 12-10. And then college football, 6-11-1. Now, we do have 2 futures, one on Texas Tech at 9-1 to win the national championship, and then one on the Broncos at 22-1 to win the Super Bowl. So we will be seeing how those play out as well. We'll add those in as far as, units if we do end up winning there. Those are both half unit plays, so $50 on those each. We're just a half unit. Everything else we give out is going to be 1 unit plays. Everything's if you're $100 better, you're up $2,400 since October 21st. So there you go. $100 better, get your bets in. So there's where we at currently overall on the season, plus 24 units since we've been back here with the show. So, that's great. If you can get an extra $2,000 in your pocket, why not? Like I said, the 3-month package is only, I think, like $50 a month, or $50. No, I'm sorry, $50 for 3 months. Go check it out. You'd have that made back already. 1 month, I think it's $25. You'd have all that made back already if you had gone and signed up there over on sportbetextra.com. So let's get into it. NFL. Let's talk NFL. Falcons at the Bucks. Bucks laying the 4.5 here. Big news as Jalen McMahon and Mike Evans both activated off IR. Practicing. They may be good to go tonight. I know we won't get the final designation until about 90 minutes before the game starts, but that is great news that you've got 2 receivers coming back. Now, Cade Otton, he's doubtful, so that does kind of hurt. But if you can get Mike Evans back, if McMillan can slot in too, he'd end up coming in about like that number 4 receiver because, of course, Godwin, Ibuka, Those guys are up there ahead of him. But if you can get McMillan in too, I mean, you've got 4 pretty solid wide receiver options for Tampa Bay. Now, the only question is going to be, will the line be able to hold up, offensive line there, to allow Baker the time to get the ball out, right? If you're going deep to Mike Evans, we're going to need a little bit of time there from the offensive line. I know they've struggled lately. Did not look that good, really, in that loss to the Saints. It kind of felt like a spot, right? Like a letdown spot for them there. And, since the bye week, unfortunately, the Bucs are 1-4. Those tough losses, though, that's against the Patriots, the Bills, the Rams. I mean, all teams that are so good. And then, of course, a loss against the Saints last week. So this team's really got to figure something out. This has to be the game where they make the turnaround. With guys coming back, I would bet that this is a game where they do end up turning things around. Falcons, they're just trying to see, maybe Kirk Cousins can still be the backup. That's really whether or not they're going to continue to use him as a backup. I mean, I know he's starting now, but this is not going to be a thing. They're not testing to see, is he the guy for the future? Is he our franchise guy? I mean, they already paid him. They already know Michael Penix is the future. Let's just try and win some games, but there's no real big motivation for this Falcons team. I mean, I believe I can double check. They're already eliminated from playoff contention. So these games really are just like, let's just see how we can finish the season. Recently they have not looked good. I mean, just looking at last week, got blown out by the Seahawks. Jets lost that one there on the road. Saints, they win there, sure. But then Panthers, Colts, Patriots, Dolphins, Niners, just 5 losses in a row there. It's just, not good for the Falcons. So Bucs here, we know what they can do really well, right? They can throw the ball. The defense is a little, I don't know. There's just something about that defense that's lacking, I would say. Now, hopefully this game they can pick it up, but they're allowing so many yards in the air, 237.8 passing yards. That's one of the worst in the league that the Bucs are allowing in the air. So that's going to be where the Falcons are going to attack. Now, of course, with no Drake London, sure, your ability to really target that Bucs defense maybe goes down a bit. I think this is a game, kind of that get right game for the Bucs. Like, hey, this is it. It's either now or never. The Panthers are going to pass you up. I would lay the 4.5 here with them. I believe it's around a 4.5 or 4. I'm not sure on the current number. I'd have to go check in at ProfitX and see what that is. But it looks like we're getting at about a 4.5 minus 110. So that's the way I would lean for this game with the Bucs. I just think it's a spot where they do come back again. Thursday game, home team, short week, usually the play. Now, will I be on it? Probably not, because I do need to double check and see what the percentage is on that one. Again, we don't want to be on the wrong side, on the public side. So, again, just to lean for me there. Not going to have any action on that as of yet. Moving along, let's get into the NBA. Yesterday, Spurs win outright. We talked about it on the show. If I were to take any of the dogs, it would be the Spurs. Thunder, we figure, would just route the competition there, and they just had, they are just not slowing down. The Suns, again, just couldn't put anything together last night. I mean, as expected, right? Because with no Devin Booker, just where is that scoring going to come from? So the Thunder do handle business. Spurs do cover and win outright. So we talked about those two on the show. So now you got Spurs and Thunder in the West, and then on the East, you got Magic and Knicks. If you're able to still get a future bet, take Spurs. If Spurs beat the Thunder, then they should win the whole thing. I mean, that's one of the toughest teams. So, I would look that angle. Tonight, Celtics at the Bucks. Celtics laying 9.5 here on the road. Just going through like the injuries, obviously with Giannis, him being out, it's going to be tough because this Milwaukee team, man, like, what are you going to get out of them? Who's going to be the guy that's going to step up? Is it going to be Kyle Kuzma? Is it going to be Kevin Porter? Like, who's the guy that's going to step up for the Bucks? Tough losses last couple games against the Sixers on the road at the Pistons. Now you've got the Celtics coming on home before you go back out on the road to go play the Nets. Yeah, it's a tough spot for the Bucks here. Celtics, I'm not in love with. Yeah, you beat the Raptors, but we saw what the Raptors have been doing. They've been struggling. Sure, you beat the Lakers at home as well. You beat the Wizards. So they're on a little bit of a win streak there. Their 5-game win streak. It almost feels like a spot where they know there's no Giannis. They've got Detroit, who's kind of that up-and-coming team. They're looking ahead to that spot there. I would lean Bucks to cover the 9.5 here at home. That's, again, you're asking Celtics to win by double digits. Not unheard of. They've obviously done that before, but just I'm not sure if this is a spot where I would want to lay that number with the Celtics. On to the Clippers and the Rockets. Rockets, they're 9.5-point favorites. Same thing here. I would just take Rockets. Again, nothing would suggest the Clippers would be a play. However, I'm not keen on laying these big double-digit point spreads. You never know with these. It might be one of those games that the Clippers decide to randomly show up and play in. But is that really going to happen? Doubtful. I just don't know if I would lay the number with the Rockets, even though I do like the Rockets there. I'm just not sure. Next one, Blazers, Pelicans. Blazers laying 4.5 here on the road against the Pelicans. Again, Drew Holiday, as long as he continues to be out, it's going to be tough for me to get behind the Blazers team. You've got Donovan Clingan's out, Robert Williams, game time decision with his illness. So we don't know if he's going to be able to go. And just looking at all the injuries, of course, we always wonder, when's Scoot Henderson? When's he going to be back? But just looking at these guys, it's going to be tough to get behind the Blazers. Yeah, Zion Williamson's out for the Pelicans. Sure. Looks like Jordan Poole, he's questionable, so he may give it a go. But there's a lot of young talent on the Pelicans. It really feels like the same equal playing field as the Blazers there. I would lean Pelicans at home here to cover that 4.5. Now, that's a big ask, right? Because that's a small number. With only 3 wins on the season, they're eventually going to get 4th win, I would assume. Could be this one here today. I would lean Pelicans here at home. These home dogs seem like they would be the play today. And then even looking at the next game, Nuggets at the Kings, same thing here. Nuggets laying that 10.5. It's another one of those. It just kind of feels like a spot, even with no Zach LaVine, even with no Sabonis. You've got your main guys are out, sure. But again, like we talked about, this is the NBA. You've got other guys who can step up. Just looking at who's out for Denver, of course, Aaron Gordon's out, Christian Brown's, sure, those guys are out. They've been out. I would lean Kings here. Nuggets, just kind of looking at their schedule, right? On the road to the Hawks, on the road to the Hornets. Now you've got the Kings here, and you're looking ahead to that Rockets game on Monday going back home. This feels like a spot for the Kings here, and I would just lean that again with the big number, the 10.5. I would take that. So home dogs really is probably going to be the play tonight in the NBA for at least those 3 that we talked about. Moving on, college basketball, not really a lot of interesting stuff in college basketball. What do we have? App State at East Carolina. Maybe. There's nothing really great about those. App State is one of those teams that they have really good guard play. They do not turn the ball over at all. And on the opposite side of that, East Carolina is just awful turnovers, allowing 14 turnovers, almost near the bottom of college basketball there as far as turning the ball over. Defensively, not a good team for East Carolina. Cannot shoot the 3. Don't really score very well from the field. They just play a quick pace and get up and down. I don't know if that's going to be a recipe for success here, East Carolina. If we just look at kind of what they've done, right? You beat Maryland Eastern Shore. You beat another D2 school, Georgia Southern. After that, I mean, they haven't done anything really that well. And then when you look at App State, I mean, you get almost kind of the same thing. Lose to UNC Asheville, Mercer, Elon, like not good teams. Ohio State, you get blown out by. This is one of those that I don't know if I would be comfortable laying a 4.5 with East Carolina, but I also don't think I'd be comfortable taking a 4.5 with App State, hoping that they cover. Just one of those games. There's not much to talk about in college basketball, so just looking at those, one I would probably stay off of because you don't know what you're going to get for either side of them. Interesting one, though, we have is Iowa State. Iowa State at home, ranked number 4, laying the 10.5. So 9-0 Iowa State against their in-house rival there, Iowa 8-1. That's a big number, laying the 10.5, and I think the books know that. The books want you to take Iowa. They're also basing that number off of that big win that they just had against Purdue. Now we know how tough it is. We talked about yesterday, or was it the day before? I think it was yesterday's game, Purdue, Minnesota. We talked about how Minnesota had that big upset win against ranked Indiana, right? Then what do? They come back and they get blown out by Purdue. Is this that same situation for Iowa State? Big win there that they had, against Purdue. Now you come back home and do you struggle against Iowa? That may be the case. I mean, Iowa here, we've talked about them. They can shoot the 3, but they struggle against good defensive teams. I mean, if we look at what they did against Michigan State, right? Only 52 points they put up. And that Michigan State defense is nothing like the Iowa State defense. So just looking at that and showing how they performed with a comparable team, they got blown out by Michigan State. I would lean Iowa State here with that number minus 10.5. I wouldn't be scared of the letdown off of that big Purdue win. I would lean Iowa State here minus 10.5. That may be the way we go tonight with a free play. On to maybe the last one we'll talk about, St. Joe's at Syracuse. Syracuse minus 13.5 there, laying a pretty big number. Just wanted to check injuries and see if there's anything really important. Nothing I'm seeing. I mean, Donnie Freeman, I believe he's still out. He's day-to-day, so he may give it a go. He's a game-time decision, so they're going to get definitely some size, points, some scoring, some rebounding if he's able to give it a go tonight against St. Joe's. It's looking like he will. So with that, I would probably lean Syracuse. I don't see anything on St. Joe's side as far as like injuries, any sort of concerns. I just don't think, of course, St. Joe's is going to be able to compete with this Syracuse team. They struggled against this type of defense. I mean, you can compare maybe out of the teams that they've played, maybe compare Virginia Tech to what Syracuse is. I know there's not a really big comparison to what Syracuse can do, maybe defensively. But St. Joe's, I believe they're going to struggle here tonight against Syracuse. If they do get Freeman back, they're going to get that size. They're going to get that scoring. Should be able to have no problem covering that 13.5. One spot you might want to look at is maybe the first half. That would be interesting. St. Joe's just played Tuesday at home there against Coppin State. Now they're going on the road at Syracuse. Syracuse is a tough place to play. It might be difficult finding shots early in this game. I would lean Syracuse first half here just to kind of see what that number is. I mean, they're right now currently 13.5 for the full game. So if we go scroll down and see what number we're getting on the first half, let me double check that. That may be the play. First half, we're looking at about a 7.5, right around that range on Profit X. So that's probably the way I would go. And you know what? From what we've talked about today, the NFL, the NBA, college basketball, That's going to be the play that we're going to give out, is going to be Syracuse. So let's get that locked in. That's the later start, 8 o'clock Central start time. So let's see down what we've got for Syracuse there. First half, -7. There's other sites also like Novig. Onyx is another one, pretty new. So let me just check those because I'm kind of curious what lines we're getting on those as well for the first half. So if I head over to Novig, first half, Syracuse, yeah, -7.5 as well there, -107. That's going to be the way that we're going to look tonight. So Syracuse, let me get this one written down, recorded. Again, this will be the free play that you'll find over on sportbetextra.com. So whenever you go, check out the post and the picks. Once the show is up, again, those are all done within about 30 minutes. You'll find this play here on the free play. So Syracuse, first half, -7.5, and that's -107. That's locked in. That's the free play. Again, go to sportbetextra.com. That's where you're going to get the rest of my plays. I may have about 2 more tonight. Again, with these kind of small slates, we're not doing 4 plays. We're not doing 5 plays. That's usually for the weekend. We have a lot more games to choose from. Today, we might have 3. Yesterday, we had 3. The day before, we had 3. We went 2-1 the past 2 days. 2 days in a row that were positive. We're going to continue that streak. Again, I've talked about it. Get on board now before it is too late. But we will continue to streak and see if we can improve that record for December. Syracuse first half -7.5. Good luck tonight, and I will see you all tomorrow for a Friday show to wrap up the week.